Hey guys, welcome to the 101 in 10, where you get to see your favorite artists from around the world 101 in 10 minutes. I'm your host, Ayasha Roberson, and I am back with a new artist for this week. So we have this beautiful, talented, she has this really raspy pop voice that I love. I think her songs are so fluid and they're so relatable, as well as we deal with our day-to-day life situations. And her writing and her songs are just a storytelling about life in general where anyone can relate to. So without further ado, help me welcome the beautiful and talented Skyler Day.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and no, thank you for being on our show. So I want to ask you, how did you get started in the industry, and who were your musical influences growing up?
Well, I started for music. I started, I'm an actor as well. So I kind of started both of those things at the same time, really.
Mm-hmm.
But with music, I mean, I've been singing. It's one of those things where it's like, I came out of the womb. Like I have no general idea of when I actually started singing, but as far as songwriting goes, I wrote my first song when I was 10, kind of discovered that part of music and was like, oh, that's what I want to do. Because I don't actually know if I would be singing if I wasn't writing songs. You know what I mean? I mean, I would be, but I don't know if I would be pursuing it like I am if I wasn't a songwriter, because that's it's my bread and butter. I love writing songs. But yeah, I discovered songwriting when I was 10 and then picked up guitar when I was 14. And that's really when things started for me as far as music goes, because I was able to accompany myself and write in that way and write these full songs as opposed to just, sitting in my bedroom writing lyrics. Yeah. And then from there I started performing, and then it took me a while to release my first music. And then once I started doing that, it was like, okay. And again, it was that discovery of being like, oh, that's what I need to be doing. Oh, this could be like an actual lifelong thing,
And I just love the fact that you were able, like at 10 years old, at such a young age, and you were able to like gravitate to music at such a young age, and it become such a passion of yours. And it's not something that's forced. It's not something that you really had to like really study. It was just something that was just a part of your gift. And it just, yeah.
I'm very, very happy that I found that early. Again, it's one of those things. I mean, my grandma is, she's a pianist and a singer and a performer. And so that kind of, I think I saw it. I don't think I realized that she was an influence until much later, because it was just there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I think I realized now, I'm like, oh, she was the one that was kind of like, it like gave me something to look at where that could be something that you actually like go after. And
and it's cool because this is like you're a part of music legacy, it's your grandmother, and it's in your blood. So it's great that you have that foundation of your grandmother, and not knowing that it was going to turn into what it is now. And that's a very beautiful story to share. And thank you so much for sharing it with us. Now, can you tell me a little bit, as an artist, we all go through challenges and disappointments, but we still are somewhat driven to continue in the industry of becoming, the artist that we want to become, as we try to put our footprints down in the industry. So can you tell us a little bit about what were your successes and what were your challenges as an artist?
I mean, I think it's constantly evolving, the successes and the challenges. Like constantly going like this. But just to go for a couple of the awesome things that have happened with music on the like success side. I got to play my first festival last year, which was Austin City Limits Festival.
Wow.
And that was amazing. I'm like, let's do it again. We're coming up on a year since I played, and I just can't wait for my next chance to play a festival. So that was a big one, because that had been a goal for, I mean, forever, to play a festival. And that actually happened because I won this contest with Casey Musgraves, where I got to have a mentorship session with her at Austin City Limits a couple years prior. So that was a big, for me to sit to. She's one of my ultimate, like, I just look at her as I don't know, a great inspiration for me as a songwriter, as an artist, because I just love how she goes about her whole thing, the way she thinks about music, the way she talks about it, the way she kind of, I mean, one of the best pieces of advice that she gave me was just kind of like, make the music that you want to make, and then the people who will love it will come, as opposed to trying to chase something.
Yeah.
And then end up making something that you're not ultimately going to love. And then you have to, kind of try and find yourself in that again. And she's like, just from the beginning, just make what you want to make. And then, if people hate it, that's fine. And then if they love it, that's fine too. Like, just make that. And then at least you'll be happy in the end. And I'm trying to do that. I'm just trying to make sure that that's kind of my little guiding light. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to make what I love. But as far as like failures go, I mean, can we count? I mean, I didn't even know what like a major thing would be. I mean, I guess in the end, I don't really look at anything that hasn't gone well as kind of a failure. It's all just more like teaching moments for me. I'll look at it and be like, okay, well, only 5 people came to that show. That's okay. Bummer, but at least, I had that experience of playing to that, so that it won't be as shocking next time. And then you won't mess up on stage or whatever. And just, I think it's just like constantly thickening your skin so that you can stay in this, because failure is just a part of it.
I think
part of it. Yeah.
I love the fact that you had this great mentor that kind of was able to guide you and let you know to kind of like create your own lane. And I think as artists, it's good to be able to be authentic to your true authentic self, and not try to mold yourself based off of what the popular culture is listening to and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with, especially artists as well. They struggle with it big time because they go by based off of likes and views and it's I think it's really, really challenging now as artists, but you were able to kind of get that guidance, but I think you already had it. It was just like she gave you confirmation in it, because when you talked about when you was 10 years old, you pretty much started, finding your own, way in this music industry and kind of being guided somewhat. So she kind of gave you that confirmation, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It definitely, it was like a stamp of approval of the way that I was really already going about things. But just having her say something like that was kind of like, okay, all right, good to know. Because a lot of the time, you do that and maybe it's not the most popular thing in the world, and you're not really going viral on, whatever it is, TikTok, Instagram, whatever the thing is. But at least it's not going to dissipate really quickly. I think that's the hard thing, is when you're going for those quick fixes or those like, those quick highs.
Correct.
It can happen, but then if there's not like this foundation, at least for me with like the songs, they have to have some sort of like base where it feels like it can live without it being just like this moment that you're chasing. So as long as it can live, I can think, okay, 5 years from now, am I going to be proud of the song that I released? Yes. Okay. If the answer is yes, then good, I can put it out. And if I have any question of whether or not I'm like, is this true to me? If it's not, if I'm questioning it, then I'm like, okay, I can let that one go. Or maybe I give it to a different artist who relates to it in a different way, and they can have it. Because I kind of like that idea too, where I don't ever want a song to just like go off and die in
Right.
a corner somewhere if it's a good enough song. But yeah, so that's kind of my mindset.
I love it. And I love the fact that one of the things that you mentioned about, your failures is that it's not really a failure, it's a teachable moment. And as long as you learn from that moment and you kind of push yourself through and keep with that same tenacity and that passion, you're gonna, and gosh, she is living proof. Look, she has grown so much in the industry. And look how far Skyler Day has come. So this is just a testimony that you guys who just started in the industry or haven't started and just started, but you've been in the industry for a while, that you just have to have tenacity and passion to keep on moving forward with your art.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your new music. I know you have your new EP, Greenhouse.
Yeah. Thanks for the Greenhouse. Yeah.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind this new EP? And
Well, so I actually during the pandemic, I started learning how to produce, and so this EP is the first release of something that I self-produced. So everything on it, I mean, I produced it by myself. I recorded everything by myself, wrote everything by myself. I have a twin brother who's also an artist and an amazing guitarist and can play instruments like you would not believe, but I had him come in and recorded him a couple times. So that was cool. But other than that, there was a very solo project. And it was it was a strange thing being in the midst of the pandemic and kind of realizing that I relied so much on other people to release music. And so that was kind of the catalyst for this music. It was my way of going, okay, well, if this were to ever happen again, like I want to be so prepared. And I want to be able to stand alone and handle myself so that I don't, have this moment where I'm like, I can't release music. I just want to be able to release music whenever I want. So that was kind of the start of it. We built this, my husband and I built this little studio in our backyard.
I love it.
A teeny tiny little thing, but I love it. And I spent at the top of 2021, I spent like 5 months straight just learning how to produce while simultaneously recording everything and writing everything and figuring that out. And then released this music. So a lot of it has like a tinge of there are some themes to it that are like isolation. There's a song called Solo Cup on it that I wrote in the middle of the pandemic, kind of going, ooh, who am I as a person when I'm not an artist? When I'm not able to release stuff and I'm not kind of connecting people with people through that medium. It kind of gave me this identity crisis of being like, I don't know who I am, what to do. And so that song was the kind of the start of the EP. It's the literal start of the EP, but it's also the start of just kind of like starting off that creative process too.
I love it. And one of the things I think, one of the things that artists struggle with as well, because a lot of times when you're an artist, you have this artist type of persona of who you are as an artist, but outside of that, who are you? Who am I? And what is my purpose outside of being this artist? And I think that most people struggle with those two identities and you get real tied up into the artist you versus, your real authentic self. You as a mother, a wife, a daughter, so forth and so on. So it's great that you were able to connect that piece into your music, which is great.
Yeah, it was very therapeutic.
Yes, definitely.
Get that
Okay.
out.
Now, I want to ask you about one more of your songs that I actually love the video to, The Best Worst.
Best worst thing, yeah.
Yes, Best Worst Thing. Now, that music video is very unique with everyone holding up this paper. So, real quickly, how did you come up with the, the inspiration for that song? And what was who was directing that video?
So that song, it started as a kind of therapy exercise in a way, writing about a past relationship and, spelling out kind of the pros and cons of it and being like, here's the pros, which are all the things that you got from it that were good and that you learned from it. And then the cons, which were all the things that you needed to get over and let go. And I ended up writing this crazy list. And after writing it, I sat there and stared at it and went, I think this could be a song, maybe, I don't know. And so I just started messing around with it on the piano and then ended up writing it as a song. And it's funny, whenever I write a song that makes me laugh when I'm by myself, not that it's a funny song, because it's not, but there are certain lines in it that are just so brutally honest that it makes me laugh, maybe because I'm uncomfortable, but like I love when I can get laughing on my own.
Yeah.
In my room by myself writing a song, because I know that line or that song is probably really, really honest if I start laughing at myself. And so that was the inspiration for it, was that kind of pros and cons list. And then for the video, it was just that I didn't know what to do for a video, and I knew I wanted to do something, and I had so many people writing me kind of being like spilling their guts and being like, this, I relate to this, and this line especially, and this thing, and just hearing so many people reach out and tell me that they related to that line or this whole song, or I'm working through this right now as well, made me go, oh, it'd be cool to do a lyric video where everyone gets to choose their own lyric from the song that they relate to and literally hold it up and sing it. And so I put the lyrics on my website and had everybody go on and pick the lyric that they wanted. Some of my friends did it, some of my family did it, and then a lot of people across Instagram or TikTok or whatever, they all went on, and then they'd send me their videos, and I just put them all together on my computer and posted it up.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell, I love the fact that you were able to come up with that authenticity of a video. That is awesome. And guys, make sure you check out the Best and Worst Things video on YouTube, or you can go to Skyler Day's website. So tell the fans, how can they book you for upcoming show? Let us know about any upcoming shows you have in October, November, and how can people follow you on social media?
Well, I first off, social media, I'm at Skyler Day on everything. And as far as shows go, I'm in the middle of booking a show at the Troubadour early next year. So I'll have a date for that soon. So just check back on my website. And then I'm really in the midst of just booking shows. So I have a lot that are sitting and don't have solid dates yet. So I can't actually say what they are. But yeah, so if you just check back on my website, I'll have all those dates coming up.
Yeah, and for the meantime, fans, make sure you go to her website, check out her new EP and all music. It is absolutely awesome. I listened to it all weekend long, had it blasting in my car, and you guys are really going to enjoy Skyler Day's music, and you'll be able to relate to her songs because her songs are so authentic and it's really about her. And I'm so excited and delighted that you were able to be on the show with us today, Skyler. Thank you so much. Blessings to you. And I'm looking forward to continue to support you and your music as well. And thank you so much, 1 and 1 and 10 fans, for watching this episode. All the information is on the bottom of this video where you can connect with her and also go to Skyler Day's website as well. Thank you guys for watching our show. We look forward to seeing you next week. And you never know what new artists we're going to have on our show. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.